Good morning, everyone. I, Tirthankar Ghosh, faculty member of the Department of Statistics, Asutosh College, take the opportunity on behalf of our college to welcome you all to this one-day webinar organized by the Department of Statistics in collaboration with the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Asutosh College, Kolkata, to commemorate the birth anniversary of the founder of our college, Sri Asutosh Mukherjee, and to celebrate the National Statistics Day on the birth anniversary of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, the father of India. The topic of today's webinar will be leveraging data analytics for evidence-based policy planning. I feel honored to welcome our distinguished speaker for today, Dr. Tirthankar Ghosh, Department of Statistics, Visva, Bharati University. I would like to express our deep gratitude to the speaker for taking out his valuable time and joining us today to be a part of this webinar. I feel delighted to welcome Dr. Shripona Dr. Roy, the coordinator of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Asutosh College. Finally, I welcome my colleagues and my dear students to this webinar. May I now request Dr. Shripona Dr. Roy, the coordinator of the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Asutosh College, to say a few words. Ma'am.
Thank you, Vendrina. A very good morning to all of you. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the Department of Statistics for coming up with such an event. It gives me immense pleasure to be a part of this webinar, and I may also extend my warm regards to our speaker for today. I am also one of the teachers who is teaching biostatistics in class, and I'm looking forward to today's webinar. I would like to request all our participants, our students, to enrich themselves to this lecture. Thank you so much for inviting me, and over to you, Vendrina. Thank you so much.
Kind words. 29 June, the birthday of Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, has been designated as one of the special days to be celebrated every year as the National Statistics Day. To create awareness among the youth about the importance of statistics in socio-economic planning and policy formulation, and to honor Professor Mahalanobis' invaluable contribution in establishing the National Statistical System. The first National Statistics Day was celebrated in 2007 by the Indian government. It is an absolute honor for all of us to get the opportunity to organize this webinar. Professor Prashanta Chandra Mahalanobis, born on this 29th of June 1893 in Kolkata, built the groundwork for India's institutional economic planning. He is also known as the architect of Indian economic planning, as his contributions have made India experience a fast economic growth and have also assisted in the eradication of the colonialists' poverty. Professor Mahalanobis was a pioneering researcher in statistics and related fields, but he was a planner, an educator, and a visionary of India's post-independence era. He was the founder of the Indian Statistical Institute in Kolkata, and he has also initiated the prestigious journal Sankhya. In addition to his fundamental contributions in statistics, he made significant research contributions, thinking, and societal value in planning and economics, particularly in econometrics. He was a founder of the Indian Econometric Society and the first Indian elected member of the Econometric Society, as well as he was the first fellow elected from India in 1951. The Mahalanobis distance, developed by Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, is a useful tool not only in taxonomy but also in other domains such as economics and geology. It is widely used in the field of cluster analysis and classification. He developed new methods for performing large-scale sample surveys and using the random sampling approach. He determined acreages and agricultural yields also. He developed fractile graphical analysis, a statistical tool for comparing the socio-economic circumstances of different groups of individuals. He also used statistics in flood control economic planning. Professor Mahalanobis organized India's statistical efforts by establishing the National Sample Survey and the Central Statistical organization in 1950. From 1955 until he was a member of India's Planning Commission, the second five-year plan of the Planning Commission, which promoted heavy industrial growth in India. It depended on Mahalanobis' mathematical description of the Indian economy, which was later known as the Mahalanobis model. We also feel delighted to mention that today, the 29th of June, is the birth anniversary of the founder of our college, Sir Asutosh Mukherjee. He was a great jurist, a barrister, a mathematician, a great academic administrator, the first student to be awarded a dual master's degree in mathematics and physics by the University of Calcutta. And he was also the second Indian to become the Vice Chancellor of the University of Calcutta. We pay our homage to the Tiger of Bengal for his lifelong endeavor in the field of education and proceed to the next segment of this webinar. Now, I would like to take the opportunity on behalf of our department to give a warm welcome to Dr. Tirthankar Ghosh. I feel privileged to introduce you, sir. Dr. Tirthankar Ghosh, our esteemed speaker for today, has teaching experience of more than 18 years in the Department of Statistics of Visva Bharati University and Midnapur College affiliate. Dr. Ghosh graduated from University of Pollani in 2001. Then he received his MSc degree in 2003 and PhD degree in statistics from University of Pollani in 2012. His first position in the MSc examination. He pursued his postdoctoral research in meteorology program in the Department of Earth, Ocean and Atmospheric Science at Florida State University, USA during 2013 to 2017. His research interests include time series analysis, data analysis, reliability engineering, and applied statistics in weather and climate research, especially in tropical cyclones. Dr. is inclined towards application of technologies in teaching. He introduced online teaching and tests in his classes since 2018. During COVID, he and one of his colleagues prepared a learning management system to support online teaching for the community, and it has been a tremendous success and is still operating. He has published his research works in many international journals of repute, a few of them IEEE Transactions on Reliability, Communications in Statistics, Theory and Methods, International Journal of Quality and Reliability Management, Weather and Forecasting, Advances in Meteorology, Ecological Ethics, Ecological Indicators, Reviews of Geophysics, Journal Indian Society of Remote Sensing, Calcutta Statistical Association Bulletin, International Journal of Environmental Analytical Chemistry, Food Chemistry, etc. One of his papers was abstracted in Bulletin of the American Meteorological Society as a paper of note. He is a life member of Indian Statistical Institute Council, Kolkata, and also holds membership of prestigious professional bodies like Calcutta Statistical Association and Indian Society of Statistics, Computer and Applications, New Delhi. Over to you, sir.
Windula, for your nice introduction. A very good morning and big hello to all of you. I would also like to thank Dhiman and Partho, who has personally talked to me regarding this invitation, and I feel privileged to accept this one. And today is a very special day for all of us who are in statistics, especially. As Windula has already mentioned that today is National Statistics Day. It's been declared by central government since 2007. And for all of us statisticians, it's a day for celebration and to motivate ourselves towards, again, working on our fields, especially in application. Okay, before I start my presentation, I'd like to add a little rejoinder in my introduction, what Windula has said. Regarding the introduction of LMS, one of my colleagues, helped me, and his name was not mentioned there. I apologize for that. And his name is Dr. Aruni Chakraborty. He is from Department of Physics. So that's one legend from me. Thank you very much. So let us start our presentation. I hope I can interact with you after that, and all of us will get benefited out of this. Thank you very much. I would switch off my video just to save some bandwidth, and let's start. So just let me know if you can see my window or not.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So today I have taken the title which Vendela has mentioned. I did little change over it because I gave that a couple of days ago. So basically my intention was to discuss something on recent happening, which is AI based analytics. Nowadays, after ChatGPT has been there, people are very crazy about that, and I just was exploring some of its feature and how that can help us in our work, because AI is going to change all aspects of how do we do things. So that's why I chose this one, leveraging AI-based data analytics for evidence-based policy planning. Okay, before we start, I would definitely like to pay my homage to these two great personalities, as Angela has already mentioned. Sir Asutosh Mukherjee, today also his birth anniversary. He was a great educationist, lawyer, and nation builder. We started listening about him when we were in school days, and many of us know that he is being named as Tiger of Bengal. He was so courageous, and his personality was such that he was tagged with this name. Formerly, he was Vice Chancellor of Calcutta University and Chief Justice of Bengal during, and at that time, an Indian is becoming Vice Chancellor of CU or Chief Justice of Bengal is really a significant event. The second Vice Chancellor, Indian Vice Chancellor, as Angela has already mentioned. And he did many things during his tenure as Vice Chancellor. He introduced many new subjects like industrial chemistry, comparative literature, anthropology, and many more which were not there in the courses at that time. He persuaded great personalities like C.V. Raman, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan to teach at CU, and there are many other cases we can cite at that time, and he was kind of a person who brought Calcutta University on the world map. So that is basically, we cannot just confine his deeds in few lines, but we would just be kind of we should be always remembering these personalities. And he freedom first, freedom second, and freedom always, especially when you are in the university space. So these things always he actually performed and followed, and we should also try to follow their way of life. That's basically I would like to mention on his birth anniversary. Now again, another great son of Bengal and India is Professor P.C. Mahalanobis, whose birth anniversary has been designated as National Statistics Day by Indian government since 2007 because of his work and contribution towards society and in statistics. So we can say he was father of Indian statistical system. And MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, has been celebrating this day, and now everyone has joined this since 2007. Now, if we very briefly, as Indra has already mentioned, so those things will be little bit repetition. So I'd like to make a quick overview of that in contribution towards national development of Professor Mahalanobis. If we just try to mention once more, like establishing ISI, it's a premier higher educational institution for statistical science and research, which was established in 1931. Then he was member of Planning Commission in 1955 to 67, and he was, as Indra has already mentioned, he was kind of a key to shape the second 5-year plan, where heavy industrial policy was implemented after his deliberations and logics of mathematical modeling. Now, he established started working on NSSO in 1950. He started, and then PSO, Central Statistical Office. So these were all kind of application of statistics in developing the nation or policy making in development of India. So it is not only, he was not only inclined towards developing statistical theories, but also very much inclined towards application of statistics for general development of people. I would like to mention here that he had a great connection with Rabindranath Tagore. His workplace was Visva, Bharati, from where I am right now. So Mahalanobis and Tagore, we can see that both these personalities has a great common in their characteristics. That is, both of them were very much in doing for common people. It's not only for academical development or something like that. Whatever problems Tagore has cited in our education system, he tried to wipe them out by showing the model of Visva, and we can see the similar kind of attitude towards Professor Mahalanobis' work, that it is not only developing the statistical science, but also how those can be implemented for our national development or developing common people. So that is a great thing I would like to mention here. Now, some few more great contributions of Professor Mahalanobis, if we mention, that is Mahalanobis' distance, which is basically talks about how to measure the distance between two multivariate populations, and that is being used everywhere nowadays. And then we can also mention interpenetrating subsample, which I definitely would like to draw the attention of undergraduate students, if they are here, that sometimes we have to, not sometimes, but always when we give an estimate, and we also have to estimate the variance of that estimate. So always this is not possible, and in that time we can use interpenetrating subsample, which was actually is a contribution of Professor Mahalanobis. And also there is one thing I would like to mention here, is that designing large-scale sample surveys, like where sample survey is going to be taking place all over India. So how that can be done and how those things can be used for estimating things. And he was very much involved in estimating crop during Jawaharlal Nehru's prime ministership. So that's how we can see that how involved he was in applying statistics for national development and for how to embrace the life of people. Now, some important events we would like to go to very quickly. He was born in Kolkata on June 29, 1893, and his family was socially active and surrounded by intellectuals. His grandfather Rucharan was influenced by Rabindranath Tagore, and who was father of Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore. He graduated in physics in 1912, and then he went to Cambridge, where he did tripos in physics, and then he came back to India and started working from Presidency College and then established ISI. He was National Statistical Advisor since 1949. And India government actually honored him by second highest civilian award Padma Vibhushan in 1968. Apart from other awards he received all over the places over the world. So this is a very brief significant events in his life. Now, if we like to see some of the comments made by some great personalities, like looking at the ISI and the Indian statistical system, both plays important roles in statistical sciences for policy making as well as a general science in the international level also. So Agnes Dayton and Valerie Kogel, Agnes Dayton is a Nobel laureate. They have mentioned that this, I quote, where Mahalanobis and India led, the rest of the world has followed. So that today, most countries have a recent household income or expenditure survey. Most countries can only envy India in its statistical capacity. So just by looking at these statements, we can say how visionary Professor Mahalanobis was, that he thought these things so back, but actually those were so much relevant even today, and that actually showed how things should be in an international level as well. Continuing to that, economists like Pranab Bardhan, R. Somnathan, T. Srinivasan, and Abhijit Banerjee, who is also again a Nobel laureate, they mentioned that no other instance of an entirely homegrown institution in a developing country becoming a world leader in a large field of general interest. So this is how we can understand that how great was his vision and how great was his creations. It's not only about developing things in theoretical manner. Now moving forward, if we come to the data analysis part, like in national statistical systems also, you need to collect many data, and not only in national statistical system, but for any other ways. In business houses also collect data. Nowadays, every decisions are being taken from data-driven analysis. Now, decisions are not being taken generally from the mind. It's the data which are driving the business policies nowadays. So if we come to the data analysis part, so there are various types of it, and situations come when people collect data and different objectives are there. But broadly, data analysis may be classified into any of the following types. For example, descriptive analysis. So it gives the answer of the question, what has happened? Like if we collect the data of some districts or of some states, only on, say, literacy, for example, then if we would like to say what is the literacy rate of that district, what is the literacy rate of that state, then we perform descriptive analysis. Obviously, the graphical analytics also there, means presenting those data in a meaningful way so that the image will be describing the thing. So that means how to describe the data in a meaningful way to find the insights. So this is one type of analysis we perform. Secondly, predictive analysis means what will happen. So data are there. Now we have a question that, okay, this much amount of crop has been produced since the last 20 years or last 30 years or last 50 years. What will be the production in next 2 years? Or this is the population statistics of last, say, 100 years. What will be the population after 10 days, after 10 years? Because if we cannot estimate those things, then it will not be possible to plan effectively, because some establishments or developments cannot happen momentarily. So predictive analysis, starting from time series analysis, regression, and many more things like logistic regression, and so many things are included here. So in general, predictive analysis answers to the question what will happen. Then there is inferential statistics or inferential analysis. Means if we are willing to estimate something like what is the literacy rate of Birbhum district of Bengal, what is the literacy rate of India, the income of say people of West Bengal. So if our minds are having these questions, then we have to collect data and estimate the income from the data, and so that is inferential analysis. The same inferential analysis can also be used for testing some statements, like if we say that West Bengal middle class family has monthly income of rupees 1 lakh per month. Is it true or false? If we have to judge or test this statement, then we go for inferential analysis. Okay, so these are not very but since I just prepared myself mainly for students, so that's why I am bringing all this back again. Now, understanding the internal structure of the data, that is how this data is organized, means to figure out if we have the data, then how the units of the population are organized. Now, to some examples we can give, like cluster analysis. Those things are very much in place nowadays, and we are experiencing the applications of those in our day-to-day life. Like customer segmentation is a very much example of cluster analysis. Like if you go to any website of e-commerce, like say Amazon or Flipkart or whatever it is, there if you go in the website, then you will be finding some segments or some cluster, like say pantry. That is, there you will be getting the things which are needed at the kitchen or for making food. Then it is clothing. Within the clothing also, again, there is kids wear, men's wear, women's wear. Then electronics goods, again it is computers and communication gadgets like mobile phones and so many things. So they made the website according to the nature of the commodity. So this is again one example of clustering. And customer segmentation is also, I would like to mention that in a pool of customers, like nowadays every e-commerce giant or retail stores like shopping malls, they have the purchase data of every customer. Now, if they analyze the data and they try to understand what are the buying habits of the customers, like they can segregate the customers according to their buying patterns. Like, okay, these people are buying ornaments from my store, these people are buying garments from my store, these people are buying this thing from my store. So in those things, whenever they found that the nature of the people, whoever is buying whatever things, so that is the segmentation is done, so they can plan their business accordingly. That okay, these guys are buying garments from my store, then why don't we give some additional discount to attract them on some other products, like say electronics items, so that they buy it from our store. So they are not getting the discount for the garments, but they are getting some messages from the store itself that if you buy not only garments, if you buy some electronics things from my store, then you would get this much discount. On the other hand, those who are buying the electronics items, they are getting the message that if you buy garment from our store, you are going to get 25% discount from our store. So this is how planning, business planning are taking place just by using statistics and cluster analysis. But these things were not kind of in place before this data analysis actually taken place after computer revolution at a large scale. And the another category I would like to mention is anomaly detection. And this is, I think, all of you can relate with our day-to-day life also. Like many of us now use credit cards. Now, as soon as you do a credit card transaction, which is not kind of normal behavior of yours, like you are habituated to use that credit card within Indian territory, and suddenly you went to a website and trying to transact with this for an international purchase in US dollar. So immediately you will see that there is a message from the credit card company that they are holding the transaction, and they will call you or they will message you that this transaction has been declined or this transaction has not been placed in order because they are asking you to contact. So why did this happen? Because they found that this is an anomaly from your usage because that does not fall on line. So detecting these type of anomalies is very much important, and nowadays it's possible for after analysis is being done. Similarly, for approving loans, bank loans, like whenever a person is applying for a loan, then they have to give a lot of information: name, gender, marital status, number of family members, and whatever other liabilities are there. Now, bank, what they do is they have their previously stored data, and they analyze the data and predict the probability that given these new information of the new applicant, what is the probability that this person will be defaulted. When that probability is more, then they are not going to approve the loan, and when that probability is less, then they are going to approve it. Now, this is a finance sector. So in that case, the biasness of the bank manager is no more. Similarly, the person will also be getting the information why he was not being approved. Similarly, the same thing is being applied in medical science also. The images are being processed through machines, and they are tagging whether this particular X-ray is abnormal or not. When it is abnormal, then the patient is advised you should see to a physician. So that is how these things are taking place nowadays. So today my objective was how these things can be done. Obviously, all we cannot show, but how these things can be done using AI itself. Now, in traditional method, how do we do that? Basically, when we have the data, we scrutinize that, clean the data, and make it ready to be analyzed. Okay, that is the scrutiny part. We generally manually do it, obviously with the help of computer software. Then we perform the analysis as per our research question, like as we mentioned in a couple of slides back, and report the analysis using charts, tables, text, etc. once the analysis is done. And all these three steps are completed using computer codes and other accessories for computing the process. Okay, so that is basically so far we do. And even if we go back to our student life, then we used to hear that our teachers, they did not have computers, and they did the computation using cassette machines and sometimes in hand calculator or hand by something like that. So as technology evolves, the aids for computing and aids for doing things are becoming much easier to avail, and we can save our time and we can do the things with more comfort and in less time. Now, in the AI route, almost 99% of the jobs which are listed here in the left-hand panel are done simply after you upload the data to the AI system. Everything will be taken care of by the AI. I'm not sure that how many of you have tried this out, but I'm sure many of you definitely have tried. So we will try to show you some of them today, and we'll be kind of amazed to see that how things can be done so much easily. Okay. Now, just to give a very brief, I'm not an expert of AI. Just since I uttered the word AI, I should mention a few things about it. And AI is basically about creating intelligent machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. Okay, means a machine will be doing things which are like a human being. And these methodologies actually aim to simulate and replicate human-like intelligence in machines, enabling them to understand and process complex data, adapt to new situations, and perform tasks with varying degrees of autonomy. So this is basically what AI are, and I'm sure many of we are experiencing that in our day-to-day life. We have heard this particular term, ChatGPT, which has been into reality in common space since November 2022 by OpenAI. It's a US company. So GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Now, ChatGPT is actually a AI-based system which provides, like, if you ask something to it, it will give you the answer. All kind of questions it will answer. Up to 2021, the information it stored or it was trained with is the developments or documents or whatever you call it up to 2021. Now, these are based on large language models. So basically, when we had chatbot, we used to write something and it used to give us the results or the answer to that. Now it is something like anything you can ask. Chatbots were restricted to some specific questions on the basis of the service they are providing in the website and something like that. But here, this ChatGPT is kind of covering everything. And how people accepted that, when people tried this out, they got really very much amazed to see that. And within 1 month, the customer base actually went to 100 million in 1 month. It has crossed all the records of consumer registrations history. Now, if we try to compare this with another very popular video sharing app, TikTok gained this 100 million customer base in 9 months. Okay, so that you can understand how popular it has been since it has been into public domain, and it's been evolving. So we'll try to see some of its features as we go on. Again, if we concentrate not only on ChatGPT, there are some other platforms also, like OpenAI and Open Assistants and stuff like that. In fact, Microsoft Bing is also based on ChatGPT, so this is not different. So this is free. And since we were discussing data analysis, so restricting to that part, we can say that you can upload the data file as well. It's not only you can do just question answer on topics and something like that. So once you upload the data with proper extensions, then perform analysis as asked by the user, often provides Python codes. If it is not providing the results, but it will also provide the Python code. This is very interesting. Or if you provide the R code, that will also provide that one. So now there is a big question, especially that like we statisticians learned computer codes for doing the statistical computations. Like earlier, calculators were not there, but when they came, we started using that just to save time. Now the point here is whether should we use these AI-based systems or not, or we keep on going like this. I think this question is going to arise in other platforms, as I mentioned, like Open Assistant and etc. Those are also free, but I found that they are not always available. Sometimes they say internal server error and something like that. But as far as the working pattern is concerned, they are very much same. I hope I would be able to show you both the platforms, but we'll see. But this is one limitation I would say with other AI systems. And there is another way you can use apps, AI apps to do your things, which are a bit costly. You have to take membership and you have to pay a considerable amount of fees. And I fear that these fees will be increasing day after day. So these are the three avenues. Now, if I would like to show you the sequence or the sequence of working in a particular AI platform like ChatGPT is open a ChatGPT account. It's free so far, and then upload your data, and for learning purpose or for students, they can learn things from there. So they can generate the data if they are not getting the data, or they are feeling that the typing the data is getting wasting your time or something like that. So you upload or generate your data and kind of ask questions. These are called prompts to get these desired results. Okay, like you gave the data, and if you just simply ask how many observations are there, it will provide you the answer. It is as simple as that. If you say how many variables are there, it will say the variable number and the names. We will be showing those things if I have the time. Now, generally, the ChatGPT provides the results in the format of text, but if you wish to get the results in your desired format, then there is also another way that you can use ChatGPT itself in a Python notebook, like Anaconda platform and something like that. And there you can use AI along with Python or Anaconda environment and get the results as you wish. So this is another alternative to get the result. Talking about the advantages, I think many of you can now guess that how advantageous it is. So if I say that this is the advantage, this is the time or effort we require to get the work done using existing methods, then I would say that this is the effort we have to put to get the same result. So this is one pictorial depiction, but I would say that this is simply awesome. Now, there are definitely some strengths, weakness, and opportunity, and also threats. Just to mention few of them, I'm sure many of you also are working on these things and know many of those as well. It's very easy to implement. No need to have specific computer programming knowledge. Like you want to find a correlation and you put the data and you just ask the question, what is the correlation between age and the height? It will provide the value. What is plot the scatter diagram of age and height? It will give. So I'm sure that many of you have encountered these things, that many people who are not from statistics background, they are also very much involved in doing statistical analysis and interpreting things. So for them, these things will be super easy. Also, there is some risks, obviously. So this can be used anytime, anywhere, and necessary codes are also provided, and hence verification is possible. So as I said, you are getting the results, but if you ask it to provide the code using which it has generated the result, it will also provide that, and you can use that code to verify the result. So that is a great thing about it. Weakness, there are many, but to mention, I would say that so far it cannot include recent developments, like after in science developments are taking place every seconds. So it cannot incorporate if something has developed after 2021. So maybe we have to be careful about that. Sometimes the results are too generic. Like if you say, okay, give me this, it will give you something which is not specific. This is also, I would say, one weakness. As far as opportunity, we would say the data analysis and visualization can be performed very quickly without programming knowledge. So sometimes what happens is when students are coming in our BSc first sem, so they take some time to code things, and doing the things manually takes time. So they sometimes don't get interest. So if you show that those things using these AI tools, then they will get attracted towards these things or understanding the facts very quickly and very attractive manner. So more time could be spent for core methodology development. This is also one interesting point I would like to highlight upon that. When the mechanical things are being done by these facilities, we can think over how the core methodological development can be done. Because when you are utilizing your time and effort for developing code, then that is not actually core development, methodology development does not take place. So I would take this opportunity to work on that. As far as threats are concerned, I would say results always may not be correct as the AI models are trained only up to a specific time. So scientific developments after that time, 2021, should be considered before we take any decisions regarding scientific research impact. So these are the things which I already have mentioned. Now here are some examples. Like I asked it to generate 50 fictional household survey data for a training purpose. And this is the prompt I provided. And it has immediately gave the 50 data. And we can start working on that. So this is the data. And if we ask the next task, it will give you. And I would show some of those. I'm sure you'd be liking that. Now, if we talk on do's and don'ts, then we can say verify results. Obviously, as of now, the most of the time the results are correct, pure. But looking at limitations and verification should be undertaken. I would say this is my suggestion. And what we don't do, we should not do, indiscriminate use without domain knowledge should be avoided. Means we are asking things to AI and it is providing us the result, maybe in a statistical sphere, but without domain knowledge, we should not use them. That means making sure about the result and methodology, we should use that one. Okay, we would like to give another example. A data set on age and gender of 50 people was given to ChatGPT. I just experimented on that simply. So I provided age and gender of 50 people. And after giving the data, few questions were asked and teacher. I will show that in real time as well. I just asked this comment. How many observations are there? It gave me the answer. The number of observations in the given data set can be determined by counting the number of rows in the data. In this case, we have 50 rows in the data set, indicating that there are 50 observations. So you can understand that how elaborately it provides the answer. Like when we gave the answer in R or in Python, then we have to like write dim, the name of the data file, or shape and the name of the data file. So it provides the dimension. Similarly, I asked it that what are the variables? How many variables are there? It provided the answer. The number of variables in the given data set can be determined by counting the number of columns. In this case, there are two columns, age and gender. Therefore, there are two variables in the data set. As I said, only two two variables were there, age and gender. So I never described anything. I just uploaded the data and it understood at its own. I also said, can you say the feature of the column age and like? So it was like a data set where some people were asked whether they liked a movie or not. And we only stored age of the people and whether that particular person liked the movie or not. So 20, yes, means a person of age 20 liked the movie. Say 28, no, means a person of age 28 did not like the movie, and so on. So it could determine the nature. What is mean of the age column? When we asked what is the mean of the age column, it provided how many people liked and how many people did not like the movie. So if you give this question, it provided the answer. Draw a bar diagram of likes and dislike counts. Now, when we provided this one, that is drawing a bar diagram of likes and dislikes, we all are from statistics, so we can imagine how the visualize should be, but it did not provide me in a desired format. So that is why I suggest that we should go by using AI to Python platform or something like that, because otherwise we results in our desired format and we cannot use that. Okay. So if it is continued, it may not be providing desired plot. That's why we should use in Python platform. That's what I mentioned. So you have a data set. You may read it in your Python environment and now access that ChatGPT through or other AI facility through that environment. And you would get the results just using prompts. I will be showing those things in real time. So I think many of you would get to understand that how things takes place. So what are the steps? Get your API key from AI account. If you have a ChatGPT account, you have to find an API key, and that needs to be provided in the Python environment so that it can put the question to AI and it return back the results in Python environment. Then we have to install the Pandas AI. This is a package in the Python environment, and you need to use the API key. After that, we have to define a AI function which will be used, kind of a function program, function subprogram or something like that. Very simple, one line. And you can start working on the data analysis. Read the data files as data frame and use the previously defined AI function, which was step 3. We will be using that function to get the result. Like if I need to find the pie chart, so if my function is ask AI, and then within bracket will give me the pie chart, and it will provide me the pie chart. So it is super easy. And we have to repeat the step 5 according to our updated prompt, means updated question we have in our mind to get the result. Okay. And as I mentioned, if you have pay more than if you use an app, it is notable app, then you just upload the data and it will understand the data. It will analyze the data and it will answer whatever question you have. You no need to worry about anything. Okay, this is super easy, but probably I will not be able to show you this particular app-based application because I'm not sure why this subscription did not go through for my account. So those things take some time maybe. So if it stops sometimes, like when you are applying an app for getting the results or analyzing the data, then when it stops, you just simply type, please continue, and it will show you the result. This is so simple. Now, at the end, I would like to give some observations which are very common. I think many of you also are having the same one. Entire process becomes extremely easier and time saving as far as data analysis is concerned. It helps in understanding by repeated applications. Like when we were student, if we had to do everything in our manual effort, then it takes time and all the efforts and all the we get exhausted. But when things happen momentarily, so if someone is in the mind of understanding the thing and how the results changes and something like that, then we can use it repeatedly because it never tires. It's not a human being. So for understanding purpose, this can be used very nicely. And at the end, we also can say that it can be used as an aid while additional emphasis should be put on developing new methods. So this is basically at the end my observations. And with respect to the presentation, I would say this is all I had, but I would have another 10-15 minutes I would like to take so that I can show you that how things takes place in real time or when you are using that. If you are using this, then this will be repetition for you and maybe you know that. And if you are not using that, then you can understand what I said, how these things takes place. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please go ahead. Before I go to the real part. Okay, is there any question?
No, I think you can
Okay,
continue.
thank you, Diman. I think there is no. Okay, now again I am going to share that. Okay, by the way, let me ask you, whoever is here, are any one of you using this so far? Okay, okay. So thank you for your response. Okay, so let me go for this one. I think you are able to see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to shade this portion, the cell number 1, because my API key is there. So this is the function which I defined as underscore API, AI, pandas AI, then LLM conversational false. So just for a quick blink, I would show pandas AI, install this one, and then this is the token I had generated for my account, and then I am using this one. Now, this is the function which is going to give the answer of everything regarding data analysis which I had. For example, let me. I think you are able to see my screen, right? I'm sorry, I cannot make it bigger because this has a limitation of this particular Anaconda platform. Is it visible, Dhiman?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So this is the function which is going to give me all answers of the statistical questions. So I imported pandas as PT, matplotlib pyplot as PLT, and seaborn as SNS. So whoever is accustomed with the Python code, they know that PT is basically working on data frame where the data is a two-way layout type. Matplotlib pyplot is for plotting the any kind of plot you wish to plot. SNS seaborn is also a package for plotting. I have taken a small data. You see, I have taken data on some states: West Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Uttaranchal, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu. Just 50 such data. Area under cultivation and production, 6.7 metric ton and something like that. Okay, so this is the data I have taken. So if I run it again, so it has taken the data. Now I am asking my AI function that this one. So the method is the function dot run name of the data file, this is df, name of the data frame, then prompt. Prompt equal to this, whatever I have written here within the colon is actually what it needs to do. So I am asking my AI function that plot the scatter diagram of production over area. Simply, I don't know anything how to plot a scatter diagram, but I am asking my computer, and when I am asking, it is giving you the result. You see the scatter plot of production over area. I never give anything that what will be the x-axis title, what will be the y-axis title. You can change it accordingly also. This is super easy, as I was mentioning. So when you experience that, it will be really very amazing. At the next step, if I ask it, ask underscore AI, because you can name it different, any name you can give. So this is my function, and then run data file and prompt I gave, find the correlation coefficient of area and production. So it gave me the correlation coefficient. Then I asked that find the regression line of production on area. It provided me the area of, the production equal to 0.01 into area plus 1.8. And in fact, it also provides you the t-statistic, whether it is significant or not, everything it provides. I'll be coming there one after another. So this is one small data set I worked on that. Okay, now here, here again, I had generated 50, not 50, I think I had generated 5,000 data on family survey. Okay, 5,000 data I generated where like NSSO and other organizations collect this data, like location of the household, income, education level, and age and gender of the family head. This is the data generally it collects. Now I generated this same data using AI. Okay, so here though you can find this is not AI code, this is a code to generate the data in Python. So I generated the data, and so this portion is quite easy to understand. And I think I should run this one once more so that. Okay, let me show you the results first, and then again I will be running it. Then I asked, then the data file I saw, this is simple Python code what we do. Now coming to the AI part. So ask AI.run df, how many observations are there in the data set? So you see, in your Anaconda platform, you provided the data as you normally do, and then you enabled your AI to work on for the data analysis part. So this is the enabled AI part. So ask AI, how many observations are there in the data set? Clearly it wrote number of observations equal to 5,000. It's as simple as that. Then I asked, give me the gender counts, means how many males and how many females, and if there is any third gender. It provided me the counts, male and female, like which we get by typing frequency in case of R. Then I asked, show the bar charts according to gender. Just simply function and then show the bar charts according to gender, and it provided me gender, male, female, and count, gender of it. Since it's randomly generated, so maybe it has some way to give almost equal amount of both the category, that's why it is something. I asked, show the bar chart according to education, like primary, high school, higher secondary, college, something like that. Simply, I never give anything. I gave the data and defined the AI function, and then I keep on asking, show the bar chart according to education. It provided me the bar chart, graduate, high school, literate, primary, and so on. Then I am asking for pie chart as per education level. Just the prompt is show the pie chart according to education level. It provided me the pie chart. And the color and everything, if you wish to change, it can be done by giving appropriate prompts. Similarly, show the pie chart according to family head. Okay, that means how many family heads are male and how many families have female as the head. So it provided the pie chart. Again, I asked, what is the average income? It provided me. Then I am asking it, can you write average income according to gender of the family? It wrote, female, average income of families where females are head is 2,504. Average income of families whose head is male is 2,492. So means when you enable AI to analyze your data, you just need to ask the question you want answer of. Simple. Now the entire thing is taken care of by AI. Now even if somebody who is able to use this, they may not be knowing how these things are being computed, how to be interpret that, but that thing is a separate question, that whether we should give the liberty to use this or not. But this is a different debate. But today my point of discussion is how we can use this for getting our things done. Again, I am asking, can you carry out statistical test, which I was mentioning? Can you carry out statistical test of equality of average income according to the gender of head of family? Means whether the average income of families with female as head equal to the average income of families with males as head are same or not. That is mu1 equal to mu2 or not. So when I prompted that one, it provided me the mean income for male headed household is this. The mean income for female headed households is this. P statistic is this one. That means it's assumed that sigma is not known. And P value also provided. Means they are not different. So I don't know how much we can expect. Somebody, whoever is looking for the significance of the difference of these two mean, they can get it simply by a one-line prompt in the AI function. Similarly, if I ask what is the average family size, means in the data we had family size also. It computed average family size is 4.9. That is average member in the family. And I also asked to plot the scatter plot of income and age of family head, since it has 5,000 data. That's why they got all, very much indistinguishable due to the overlapping. So I showed you how to plot the scatter plot. I kept on asking, like, what is the correlation coefficient between age of family head and income? The correlation coefficient between age of head and income is this much. Then I am asking, is the above correlation coefficient statistically significant? Now it answers the correlation coefficient is not statistically significant. So you can easily understand that how beautiful it is and how we can get things done with less effort. Now I am asking, can you estimate the income of the family whose family head is 34 years? Means I wish to estimate the income of a family whose head of the family is of age 34 years. So it gave me the answer. Estimated income of the family whose family head is of 34 years equal to 2456.03 and so on. Now I can say this one also. Right here I am asking, can you write the regression equation of income on age of the family head? So it threw me some nuisance. But again, when I repeated the question, like, can you write the regression equation of income on age of the family head? It provided me the answer. Income equal to minus 0.26 into age of head plus 2509.42. Now, okay, I kept on asking, like, give an estimated amount of per capita income based on above data. You see, here this par of par, I forgot to give the space, but it understood this one. And it gave me the estimated per capita income is $502. Okay. Now, just to verify that, computed that, write the total amount of income for all the families. Now it says the server is overloaded or not yet ready. So to give another try, I gave write the total amount of income. Again, I forgot here to give the space amount of. So, but it understood income of all the families. So it computed the total income of all the families for the data set what I provided or actually generated is this one. Now I asked, write the total number of family members in the data. The total number of family members was this much. And therefore the verification is done very easily. So this divided by this one, I got 502. This is per capita income, which was already given here. And then I asked, write different education level in the data. That means, what is the percentage of people who are illiterate? What is the percentage of people who are in high school? What is the percentage of people who are graduates? So these things are very much important in policy making for any public policy or something, whatever you wish to do. So you see, I just asked this comment and it provided me literate, illiterate, literate, high school, graduate, primary school, and so on. The next one is write whether different proportions of equal levels are statistically different or not. So as we statisticians don't get convinced by only the numerical value, but we wish to look for statistical significance. So that's why the question was asked, and it provided me the p-value, that is equality of all the proportions. The p-value is 0.49. That means they are not statistically significantly different. So it also commented that the proportions of educational levels are not statistically different. So you see how amazing the results are. Again, I asked, show the pie chart of different education levels in the data with the appropriate title. So appropriate title, it provided me this title, education levels in the data. So you can write the title also. With the title, this, if you give the title, it will attach the title. And here I showed you that how you can grab data from the URL and you keep on asking questions using AI. So this part, till number 40, is as usual Anaconda, Python code. And when the data was read, let me do this once more because okay, why did it throw me a wrong? Because I did not run the PD, means import pandas as PD and something like that. So I have to, okay, what I can do, I can run all the cells. Let me run this. Okay. This one, then this one, then this one. Because I was showing you from a saved version, now I'm running all this. So I think this much is okay if I wish to run this line of code. Yeah. See, it read from this URL and then it showed as I was wishing to see the first few lines. And if I am asking how many observations are there, you see it provided 6. Then I asked, show the entire data set. It showed, see that it showed the what is the average amount. Here it was only amount, so I just this is the average amount. And I asked that show the yes and no using a pie chart, because there was yes and no. I mean, yeah, member, yes or no. So maybe because of it is asking whether you are a member of this organization or not. So when I asked this one, it provided me the pie chart. Now, is there any missing observations in the data? It said no. So this is how you can use the AI without any cost. So far, there is no cost in it to get the results done. I have actually many examples I can show you, because I am experimenting all those things for a couple of days, I mean couple of months. So if you see, when I have to simply get a plot like this is another data set where we had the plotted GDP by country. We had to work on this Python code. Okay, this many things I had to work on. So this is the only data. I have to run this one again, I guess, otherwise it will not work. This is a different worksheet. This one is fine. This data frame, if I this is again just for demonstration purpose. And then these are all Python codes we have to run to get the things done. Like okay, if I have to get this answer, like which are the 3 happiest countries, I am using Python to use this one. I have to write this line of code, like this line, and I am getting the answer. Okay, and then if we wish to get the answer, what is the sum of GDP of 2 unhappiest countries? Okay, this is the question I have to ask, and the Python code I wrote and I got the answer. And then I am the plot of GDP according to country. Okay, so I got it. Now the entire thing, if I do that using AI, so I did that using AI, as I showed you a few minutes back. So this is again totally I ran it. Yeah, you see, I am asking which are the 3 happiest countries. You see, I had to write a different Python code for that. But here I am using this AI and it provides me the answer. What is the sum of GDP of 2 happiest unhappiest countries? When I write this, just it is giving the answer. Now this Python code, I had to write 4 or 5 lines. How many lines I had to write? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines I had to write to get this plot done. And when I write this with a prompt, plot the bar diagram of the countries according to each GDP showing different colors, it is the plot it is providing. So I would like to stop here for the timing, because I think it is more than 1 hour I am talking on. So this is how we can use data analysis using AI, because I am sure that in a couple of years,
Thank you very much, sir,
AI
for
will
your
be
enlightening lecture.
used by everyone.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request my colleague, Dr. Parthasarathy Bera, the convener of this webinar, to deliver the vote of thanks and formally conclude today's webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Vote of thanks. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those who contribute in making the webinar a success. I would like to extend special thanks to our respected principals, Professor Dr. Manoj Kobi, for providing us all kinds of support and guidance. I would like to thank our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Shiporna Dotto Roy, for her support. My heartfelt thanks with lot of gratitude and respect for our eminent speaker, Dr. Tirthankar Ghosh, for not only sparing his valuable time, but also for enlightening us with commendable talks. No thanks is enough for member of IT cell, especially Mr. Somnath Das, without whom it would not have been possible to arrange this webinar at such a short notice. In addition, I thanks my departmental ex-head, Srimati Anna Chatterjee, present head, Dhiman Dotto, senior professor, Shirshendu Mukhopadhyay, Shankar Bhattacharya, and Oyendrila Bose for extending their hands of cooperations to make this webinar a success. Last but not least, I would like to thank our students and all the participants of the webinars for their participations and attentions. Thank you for joining us today. Have a nice day. Thank you. End of the webinar. Obi, can you speak anything?
I